The Galaxy S26 Ultra is receiving a big screen update, with one smart catch. Samsung's reported Flex Magic Pixel display could finally give you privacy without the usual hit to brightness and clarity, but it comes with a surprise trade-off. The S26 Ultra is shaping up to be a performance powerhouse, based on speculations and leaks that have been floating online over the past month or so. Alongside numerous fascinating innovations that seem to be in the books for the upcoming premium phone by Samsung, the company is also apparently preparing to launch a new OLED display technology that may rely on AI to assist secure your privacy. The tech is reported to be created by Samsung Display, named Flex Magic Pixel. This technology was already exhibited at Mobile World Congress and at the K-Display 2025 event this year by the South Korean tech titan. Now, the latest media reports emanating from Samsung's home nation indicate that the Flex Magic Pixel technology is now nearing full-scale mass manufacturing. This could suggest that the tech could be planned for the S26 Ultra and potentially for the foldable phones in 2026 by the firm. Basically, this display innovation uses AI to manage individual OLED panels and alter viewing angles, which is arguably probably one of the more meaningful uses of AI. For example, if you open a bank app on your Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI may alter the pixels automatically, thus restricting viewing angles. Almost how a privacy protection for your display works. People standing next to you or on the side may see dark on your screen instead of the display and its contents. With one perk though, normally these privacy screen coverings come with a trade-off. They significantly impair display quality and brightness, concessions that some people make against glancing at their displays. With Flex Magic Pixel, the benefits of privacy protection are available, yet at the same time, the display's full capabilities in brightness and quality are not compromised. If these speculations are genuine, the S26 Ultra will have one distinctive feature that other Android flagships don't boast about. Meanwhile, Samsung looks to be cooking up quite a lot of fascinating things for its next year's release. For one, the branding may be updated according to speculations. The entry-level variant in the S26 series may instead be called the Galaxy S26 Pro. On the other hand, the Plus model in the lineup may get replaced by an ultra-thin Galaxy S26 Edge, while the third, most powerful and badass model would supposedly be the Galaxy S26 Ultra. Rumors about the Galaxy S26 Ultra have been pretty encouraging lately, so hopes are up for Samsung's next flagship phone. Rumor has claimed that the Galaxy S26 Ultra may come with faster RAM than its predecessor and also offer, finally, enhanced rapid charging speeds for your convenience. Also, a big camera boost is predicted for the S26 Ultra, an enhancement for low-light shooting with an f/1.4 aperture. The Galaxy S26 Ultra will confront the likes of the yet unannounced, but arriving very soon, iPhone 17 Pro Max in the quest for the greatest flagship of 2026. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is supposed to come with a dramatic overhaul this year, if all the reports are to be believed, with a new look for its camera island and reportedly a bigger battery. The S26 Ultra will also have to fight the iPhone 18 next year in the fall. I personally think that this improvement to its display is simply another reason to get excited about the 2026 premium Galaxy phone. At the end of the day, the Galaxy S26 Ultra is starting to sound like a fairly solid improvement. You've got speedier performance, better cameras, quicker charging, and now even a display that can safeguard your privacy without messing up the picture. If Samsung really gets this off, the Ultra may be one of the most interesting phones to debut in 2026. Honestly, I'm pretty pumped for it. Recently, a trusted industry insider revealed new photo watermarks Samsung is adding to its Galaxy handsets. Expected to be part of the Galaxy S25's One UI 8 stable upgrade, these watermarks are related to new vibrant effects that make photographs shine with greater colors and contrast. Fresh reports now reveal the patch goes beyond color tweaking, offering considerable improvements to zoom quality on the Galaxy S25 Ultra. One UI 8's new watermarks could be part of a significant camera upgrade. Samsung regularly puts out big camera enhancements to its new flagships a few months after their introduction. But that hasn't happened with the S25 series yet. It appears the One UI 8 upgrade will finally deliver some much-needed changes. That's based on the recent discovery by Ice Universe, who has been hands-on with some unreleased camera changes Samsung is working on for One UI 8. The face of these modifications is new pro-grade watermarks that provide detailed shooting information. However, there's more to the story. When you select these watermarks, the photographs appear more bright due to Samsung secretly applying vivid effects during post-processing. The tipster submitted a handful of photographs comparing the improvements while utilizing the new watermarks. You can see a few samples as shown. The biggest leap, however, is in zoom performance. The latest version appears to focus on AI-driven processing to retain information, eliminate blur, and minimize pixelation at higher zoom levels. For users, this could imply clearer images at 5x, 10x, and even extended digital zoom ranges, an area where Samsung has typically led the competition, but is now stepping behind. The source also hints at increased low-light performance. For now, these enhancements are related to the new watermarks. However, Samsung should spread out the adjustments across the camera system once it completes the development and testing. The company has already revealed that One UI 8 will be available for the Galaxy S25 series in September. More details should surface in the coming days as it prepares for the big release based on Android 16. On the other side, the S26 Ultra will use Qualcomm's next-gen Snapdragon flagship. A recently acquired firmware file for the gadget confirms. The chipset appears to be the Snapdragon 8 Elite 2, though it remains unknown if this will be the TSMC-built 3nm version or a probable Samsung-made 2nm variation. Meanwhile, worries linger whether the 2nm Exynos 2600 will be ready in time to power the S26 series. These 26 Ultra seen with the Snapdragon 8 Elite 2. A recent firmware leak showed that Samsung will sell the S26 Ultra with Android 16-based One UI 8.5. The same firmware file also contains information about its chipset. A reference to PMK 8850 clearly confirms the inclusion of Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite 2. For background, the Snapdragon 8 Elite utilized in the Galaxy S25 Ultra carried the internal model number SM8750, and the PMK label is in keeping with Qualcomm's naming guidelines for future silicon. This confirms what many expected. The S26 Ultra will once again be powered by the latest and greatest from Qualcomm, providing top-tier performance, AI advancements, and battery efficiency. However, there's some dispute concerning the maker of this chipset. While TSMC has been creating Snapdragon flagships for the past few years, reports say Samsung may produce the Snapdragon 8 Elite 2 for the Galaxy S26 series utilizing its in-house foundry. A TSMC version built on a 3nm technology will still exist for other brands. The Samsung version, if it materializes, may use a 2nm technology. Samsung is also working on its 2nm Exynos 2600 chipset, with intentions to deploy it with the other two Galaxy S26 versions, at least in some markets. However, based on reports, the corporation still has a lot of things to get right before the chip reaches mass production. Expect more facts to surface in the coming months as Samsung prepares for an early 2026 debut. The Galaxy S26 Edge with Snapdragon 8 Elite 2 found on Geekbench. And while most of the current Galaxy S26 Edge speculations are worrying over the phone's battery capacity, a new Geekbench listing has reportedly revealed its chipset. Samsung's next tiny and light device will be packed with Qualcomm's forthcoming Snapdragon 8 Elite 2. The handset emerged with the SMS947U identifier, likely the US model of the phone, and we now have our first benchmark for Qualcomm's forthcoming flagship chip. Keep in mind that this is a pre-production item, so these scores will be higher on the final consumer edition. The forthcoming flagship chipset will include an 8-core CPU with 2 X prime cores clocked 4.74 GHz and 6 X performance cores running 3.63 GHz. These CPU rates are greater than the Snapdragon Elite's 4.32 GHz and 3.53 GHz. A rumor from last month stated that Qualcomm is testing the Snapdragon Elite 2 with up to 4.6 GHz CPU clock speed for the normal version and 4.74 GHz for the Galaxy variant. The S26 Edge achieved 3,393 single-core and 11,515 multi-core scores. These scores are marginally higher than the S25 Edge's 3,131 and 9,391 outings, signifying 8% and 22% increases, respectively. So, there is a significant potential that we may witness the return of the Exynos to the flagship Galaxy S series next year. Samsung is likely to install at least 2 of the 3 S26 versions with the 2nm Exynos 2600 processor, while the S26 Ultra may use the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite 2. It's not simply the NX division trying to do its colleagues at Samsung's semiconductor business a solid. The reason for this shift has become brutally evident. It's about money. 44. MX could highlight it back to Exynos if all issues are resolved. A fresh study out of South Korea reveals that the chipset purchasing expenses for Samsung's DX business, which includes MX, has grown 29.2% in the first half of this year compared to the same period in 2024. This increase has been partly attributable to the procurement of Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset for the S25 series. The same flagship chipset has also been purchased for the Z Fold 7, which is selling in phenomenal numbers, so Samsung is having to buy additional of those chips. Qualcomm's chipsets are more expensive not just because the San Diego Corporation has upped costs, but because TSMC, where this chip is built, has also hiked its rates dramatically. Meanwhile, Samsung's semiconductor division uses the conglomerate's own foundry, thus the prices will allegedly be considerably lower for the mobile division. Samsung has given a glimpse of what's to come by switching the Z Flip 7 over to the Exynos 2500, making it the first foldable flip phone to not utilize a Snapdragon CPU. If the semiconductor division is able to sort out claimed concerns concerning yields, thermals, and power efficiency, MX probably wouldn't lose much time in moving back over to Exynos for future flagship phones. There is a report providing another exciting detail. The makeover of the S26 series is evidently going well beyond replacing the Plus variant. It has already been reported that Samsung apparently plans to call the 6.3-inch base model the S26 Pro in the future, but it will apparently not be accompanied by the S26 Edge, but rather the S26 Air, clearly an adaptation of the iPhone 17 Air, which Apple first expected in September. It should be noted, of course, that all of these plans have not yet been formally verified and are subject to change until the debut of the Galaxy S26 series in January 2026. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting tech news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.